Hello everyone, I am Dr. Mahantesh S. Swami, working as Assistant Professor in the Department of Mathematics, Government First Grade College, Jewargi. In this video, we shall discuss about the first order linear differential equations. Actually, my plan of lecture is to consider four important sections in this lecture. First one is to consider the introduction. Second one, method of solution. Third one, worked examples. And fourth one, applications of the present study. So let us start with the introduction. Let me first define what is meant by the differential equation. If y equal to f of x is a function of x, actually this will be an unknown function of x, that is y equal to f of x, if it is a function of x, then an equation which involves the derivative term, at least one derivative term, then that type of equation is called as a differential equation. So what is meant by the derivative of y with respect to x? The terms of the kind dy by dx, comma d2y by dx2 and so on, they are called as the derivatives of y with respect to x. So if at least one such type of terms is present in the differential equation, in the equation, then that equation is called as a differential equation. For example, dy by dx equal to sin x, it is a differential equation because it is containing the derivative term. Second one, d2y by dx2 plus 3 into dy by dx plus 2y equals to e to the power of x. It is also a differential equation because it is also containing the derivative terms. So it is also a differential equation. Third, dy by dx whole square plus 3 into dy by dx plus 2y equal to e to the power of x. This is also a differential equation because it is also containing the dy by dx term, that is the derivative of y with respect to x. So with the definition in hand, now let us consider two important concepts which are related with the differential equations. The first one is order of a differential equation. So what is meant by the order of a differential equation? First, let us see. In a differential equation, the order of the highest derivative term is called as the order of that given differential equation. So if we consider this differential equation, there is only one derivative term, itself is the highest, and its order is 1. It is a first order derivative term, so it is a first order differential equation. So in this case, order is 1. So order of the differential equation is 1. In this differential equation, that is the second example, the highest derivative term is d2y by dx2. It is a second order derivative term. So highest derivative term is of order 2. Therefore, this differential equation is of order 2. It's a second order differential equation. If we look at this differential equation, what is the highest order derivative term? It is again dy by dx. That is the first order derivative term. This is the exponent. This we have to consider it as a power of the differential equation. That is the power of the term. It is not indicating the order of the term. So the order of the derivative of this particular term is 1. So highest order derivative is of first degree. Therefore, this differential equation is of order 1. So this is how we can define the order of a differential equation. Now let us consider another important notion associated with the differential equations, that is degree of the differential equation. So what is meant by the degree of a differential equation? The degree of highest order derivative term appearing in the differential equation is called the degree of that differential equation. For example, if we look at the first differential equation, highest order derivative term is this particular term, its degree is 1, therefore it is a first degree differential equation. So degree is 1 here. This is a first order, first degree differential equation. Whereas this differential equation, we have seen that it is a second order differential equation, and we have to look at the highest order derivative term. Again, this is the highest order derivative term. Its degree is again 1. So therefore, degree of this differential equation is 1. Though the order is 2, degree of this differential equation is 1. Now you look at this differential equation, order is 1 but degree is 2. Therefore, it is a first order second degree differential equation. So this is how one can define the order and degree of a differential equation. Now another important concept associated with the differential equations is to define the solution of a differential equation. So what is meant by the solution of a differential equation? Solution of a differential equation is a relation between the dependent variable. At this moment I should tell you what is meant by the differential unknown of the differential equation. If this is the differential equation, here y will be called as the dependent variable and x is called as the independent variable. Y is the dependent variable, x is the independent variable. This y itself is the unknown of the differential equation. So solution is nothing but we have to find the unknown of the differential equation. So literally, if we define the solution of a differential equation, it is a relation between the dependent variable y and the independent variable x which satisfies the given equation identically. That is, some relation between the dependent variable y and x with some constant c that comes as a result of a particular process I will tell you later on. So this type of expression, this type of relation, or if we explicitly write it in the form of y equal to some function of independent variable x that we determine plus some constant c. So either this or this, they are the relations between the dependent variable and independent variable which when substituted into the given differential equation, the equation must be satisfied. Such a relation is called as the solution of the given differential equation. Now here we have to observe that c is appearing. So why c is appearing and what that c is actually, we have to understand. So the method of solution of the given differential equation involves the process of integration. When we perform the process of integration, we will get a constant of integration, and that constant of integration is this c over here. It is also called as the arbitrary constant. So how many arbitrary constants will be there in the solution? This is very important. If the differential equation is of first order, then there will be only one arbitrary constant in the general solution. If the differential equation is of order 2, there will be two arbitrary constants in the general solution, because to arrive at the solution for a second order differential equation, we have to perform the process of integration twice. Therefore, we will get two arbitrary constants in that case. So in this way, the number of arbitrary constants in the general solution of a given differential equation is equal to the order of a given differential equation. This we have to understand very cautiously. Now let us go for one important thing, that is linear differential equation. A differential equation is said to be linear if the dependent variable and the derivative terms appear in the first degree and they must not be multiplied together. If such thing is there in the given differential equation, then we call that differential equation is a linear differential equation, otherwise a non-linear differential equation. Now, as a part of our discussion, we are considering the first order linear differential equation. So what actually that first order linear differential equation is? A differential equation of the form dy by dx plus p into y equals to q is called as a first order linear differential equation. Here what is P and what is Q? They are very important. P and Q are the functions of X, or they can be the constants. The condition is that they must not contain any y term. That is very important thing. So here this P and this Q, they are the functions of X, and such an equation which is present in this form is called as the first order linear differential equation. Now let us consider how to solve this equation. Before going to solve this differential equation, I will do some manipulation over here. I will multiply both sides of this equation with a term e to the power integral of p dx. So you please be careful. This is an important factor I am multiplying on both sides. I will tell you later on what that term actually is. So if we multiply on both sides this thing, so if this into dy by dx multiplied with the first term plus this is the second term p into y, with that this term is to be multiplied, that is e to the power of integration of p dx. So we have multiplied this quantity on LHS. Now let us multiply the same thing on RHS. So integration p dx, e to the power of integration p dx into q, that is. So we have multiplied this factor on both sides. Here P is this term, Q is as usually the right hand side term, which is also a function of X. Now if we look at this particular LHS, what can we understand? This particular thing is just like if we imagine e to the power of integration of p dx into y, it is just like the differentiation of this particular term. You please be careful. You look at this cautiously. So this particular thing is differentiation of this product. How it is? You look at this. First function as it is, differentiation of the second, which is here, plus second function as it is. So what is the second function? This thing as it is. This thing as it is, the second function is the thing but y. So first function is this thing as it is, differentiation of y is dy by dx. For the second time, second function as it is, differentiation of this we have to consider. So differentiation of e to the power of anything is the same thing. Then differentiation of that power, differentiation of integration of p dx is p. So therefore this LHS is simply differentiation of this product, and on RHS also we have to keep the terms as they are. We cannot do anything. Q into e to the power integration of p dx. I have reversed the order of the terms. That's all. Now we have to integrate on both sides. So on integrating on both sides, it implies integration and differentiation cancels. So only this bracket remains. That is e to the power integration of p dx into y, that is equal to, we are integrating on both sides, therefore here also we have to integrate q into e to the power integration of p dx with respect to x, because the integration process is with respect to x, we have to consider dx, plus the constant of integration we have to keep, that is mandatory. So now what is the thing over here? We are getting the solution of the differential equation. Here derivative term has vanished. So we are getting the solution. So what is that? It is y into some factor. That factor I call it as integrating factor equals to integration of q into integrating factor. The same thing I am calling it as if, that is integrating factor with respect to x plus c. So this is the required solution of the given differential equation 1, which is first order linear differential equation. Here we have to understand what is meant by the if. If is integrating factor and it is actually e to the power integration of p dx. So this is a method of solution of the given differential equation which is of first order and which is linear. Now we shall consider a couple of examples on this type of differential equations. So let us consider the first example. The question here is to solve the differential equation, this bracket into dy by dx plus 2xy equal to 4x square. What is the form of the first order linear differential equation, which we have already seen, which is in the format dy by dx plus p into y equal to q. This is the standard format we all know, but this differential equation is not in that format. So first we have to convert this differential equation to that format. So how to do that? By dividing with this factor. So on dividing by 1 plus x square on both sides. So if we divide on both sides by this factor, what happens? This gives us this 1 plus x square cancels out because we are dividing. So this divided by the same thing is 1 into dy by dx plus 2x is already there. We are dividing by 1 plus x square. So it is 2x divided by 1 plus x square into this y as it is. I will write it outside the bracket. That is equal to, on RHS it is 4x square divided by 1 plus x square, which factor we are dividing on both sides. Now from this we come to know that this term is p, this term is q, and now it is in our standard format. Therefore it is differential equation, first order linear differential equation. Let us take it as equation number 1. You look at this, it is just like dy by dx into py equal to q, that is this format. You can look at that. So therefore its solution is, we all know in the previous step I have explained you what is that particular thing. It is y into integrating factor equals integration of q into integrating factor with respect to x plus some constant of integration c. So this is the required solution of the given differential equation 1. Call it as equation number 2. Now let us find out what is if. Here integrating factor is equal to e to the power integration of p dx. So that is equal to e to the power integration of, what is p? P here is this thing, that is 2x divided by 1 plus x square into dx. Now let us integrate this particular thing. E to the integration of, what is the integration of 2x dx by 1 plus x square? We have to observe here, this is a very simple integration in fact, because if we look at the numerator is 2x dx, which is differentiation of the denominator. Denominator is 1 plus x square, whose derivative is 2x dx. So numerator is the differentiation of the denominator. Therefore integral of that quantity is log of the integration. So integration of this quantity is log of the denominator. Denominator here is 1 plus x square, that is. So now we know that e to the power log of 1 plus x square is simply 1 plus x square. Why this is so? Because exponential function and logarithmic function are inverses of each other. Just like f inverse of x is x. Just like that, exponential of logarithmic of this bracket is the same bracket. So what we have computed? We have computed the integrating factor equal to 1 plus x square. Now let us substitute this value into the solution 2. Therefore 2 implies, when we substitute the value of integrating factor into this expression number 2, it implies y into the bracket 1 plus x square equals to, on RHS, integration of q is 4x square divided by 1 plus x square. This is the value of q which we are having from the given differential equation, that is 1. Now in front of that we have to write down the integrating factor. Integrating factor, just now we have computed, it is 1 plus x square. dx as it is plus c as it is. Now we can cancel this with this, so it is only 4x square with respect to x. So in the next step, we can directly integrate. It is 1 plus x square equals to 4 as it is. Integration of x square, 4 is a constant, it is coming outside. Integration of x square with respect to x is x cube by 3 plus c at the end as it is. This is the required solution of the given differential equation, which is first order and linear. So this is how one can very easily solve the differential equations which are first order and linear in nature. Let us consider one more example on this particular type. Let us consider the second example. dy by dx plus cot x into y equals to cos x. So it is in the standard format directly. Here P is this quantity, Q is this quantity, so it is just like dy by dx into Py equal to Q. That is the linear first order differential equation. So let us call it as equation number 1. Its solution is, we know that its solution is y into integrating factor equals to integration of q into integrating factor with respect to x plus c. This is the standard formula which we have derived in the previous section. We are using it directly. Let us call it as equation number 2. Now our duty here is to find what is if. Here if, that is the integrating factor, is equal to e to the power integration of p with respect to x. So it is e to the power integration of, what is p in this case? It is cot x dx. Now e to the power, what is integration of cot x? Integration of cot x is log of sin x. So it is log of sin x. You can look at the list of formulae which you have already studied in PUC second year or even in the PUC first year. So it is exponential of logarithmic of sin x is simply sin x. I told you how it happens in the previous example. So log of exponential of a function of a term is the same term because they are inverses of each other. That is exponential of logarithmic of sin x is sin x, that we have written here. Now integrating factor we got in this case is sin x. Let us substitute it here in equation number 2. Therefore 2 implies the general solution we are writing y into sin x, that is equal to integration of q. What is q? Q is cos x. Cos x into integrating factor, just now we obtained it as sin x, that is equal to, into dx plus constant of integration c as it is. Now LHS is quite okay, let us keep it as it is. On integration we shall apply the formula. We know that sin 2a, we know this important formula, sin 2a is equal to 2 sin a into cos a. In this case we are having sin a into cos a, 2 transfer to this side, it becomes sin 2a divided by 2. So sin x into cos x is sin 2x divided by 2. So it is sin 2x by 2 according to this formula. Plus c, with respect to x dx as it is plus c as it is. Now this is equal to 1 by 2 as it is. Integration of sin is minus cos. It is minus cos of 2x divided by the coefficient of x is to be taken, that is 2 over here. So integration of sin 2x is minus cos 2x divided by 2 plus c as it is. Now finally if we write, it is y into sin x equals to minus cos of 2x by 2 into 2, it is 4 plus c is the required solution, or particularly the general solution of the given differential equation, which is first order and linear. So this is how we have completed the third section. Now the last section, that is to say something about the applications of such type of differential equations. If any real world problem we take, if we write it in the form of a mathematical equation, that equation necessarily turns out to be a differential equation. In particular, if we consider the Newton's law of cooling. This is one important law which is appearing in physics. So if we consider Newton's law of physics, Newton's law of cooling, what it tells us, the rate of change of temperature of a body, that is if we consider T as a temperature, the rate of change of temperature of a body, that is dt by small t, this is rate of change of T with respect to time, that is called as rate of change of temperature of a body with respect to time, is directly proportional to the difference of the temperature of the body and temperature of the surrounding. So if we remove the constant of the proportionality symbol, we have to have one constant of constant of proportionality, that is k. So now you look at this equation, it is a first order linear differential equation which we have just now studied. So this is how the physics problem is now converted in the form of a differential equation. Once we solve this, we can tell what is the temperature of a body at any given instant of time. Similarly, if we consider the law of decay or law of growth, that is rate of decay or rate of growth. So according to a nature of that is the law of a nature, the rate of change of any quantity, for example the rate of change of y with respect to time, is always directly proportional to the quantity at any instant of time, that the same quantity y at any instant of time. We are finding the rate of change of the quantity y with respect to t, and according to the law of nature, it is proportional to the quantity at any instant of time, that is y. So if we remove the arbitrary constant, the proportionality symbol, we will consider a proportionality constant k. Now again, this is a first order differential equation which is linear. So this is how one can apply the first order differential equation to the real world situation, and after solving this the differential equation, we can interpret the solution in terms of the real world situation. So this is how the study of first order linear differential equation is a beautiful subject in the field of mathematics. So with this I would like to conclude. Thank you for watching my video. Thank you once again.